Hey guys, this is Steve with Beta Finance, and this is my introductory video. So I just want to sort of introduce myself, tell you what the channel is about. I actually already recorded an hour of me talking in 3 separate videos, and it got deleted. I wasn't able to save it for whatever reason. So just this thing fucked up, so I've got to do this again, and I'm going to try to speed through it. I'm going to try to do it in 20 minutes to say everything I wanted to say. I guess, and so what am I doing? I'm going to talk about myself, and I'm going to do that by talking about Flesh and Blood, and I'm going to talk about Flesh and Blood by talking about Magic. So I was introduced to Magic when it was 7th and 8th edition were out, and I had built up a collection. See, this is going to be way shittier now because I had a lot of stuff off the cuff, and it's going to seem unnatural because I'm trying to say a lot of the points. I'm trying to make a lot of the points I made the first time I recorded this. But it is what it is. And, actually, you know what? Let's cut to the chase. So, I'm a big fan of Magic. I built up a collection. I gave it away. Then, when Lorwyn came out, so I think by the time I gave my collection away, we were in Onslaught Legion, well, that whole block. And so I gave away my collection, and then I came back once Lorwyn was out, and got a lot of 2010, 2011, and then tons of Mirrodin Besieged. Oh, you know what? Oh, well, that reminds me, because I had the Broodstar precons, but precons with the Broodstar with like affinity for artifacts. That was also before I gave my collection away the first time. Well, the first and only time. So anyway, I built up this huge collection of Magic now, and I recently just cataloged my entire collection. It's like 4,000 cards, so probably relatively small compared to like what a lot of like serious investors and stores have and whatever. And now I want to consolidate. I want to my big thing is Commander, or that's my favorite format, and I at one point decided that I wasn't gonna do booster boxes anymore. I was just going to buy high-end cards that I wanted. Typically about $20. Like I was looking at $20 cards, and then I started, every paycheck I'd buy like a $20 card that I wanted, and now I have like a good amount of higher end cards. Well, that's really like mid tier. That's like the lower end of the mid tier. To be, if I'm being honest with myself. All that to say, what I found out recently is that I love playing. I love playing. I've actually been playing EDH on Cockatrice. Right now I'm playing Marchesa the Black Rose. She's my favorite commander. And but what I also like, it's hard to say if I like it more or not, but what I found that I also like is the finance aspect, the collecting and aspects of Magic the Gathering. So what my plan with that is right now is to consolidate the value I have into higher end cards. Okay, so I I kind of went through this phase of, so I cataloged everything, so now I have my whole inventory. I used Archidekt for that, and then I built Marchesa. I was looking for, like, okay, I want to keep cards. There are cards that I want to keep, like, especially my most valuable card is Yawgmoth's Will, and I want to keep it. I don't really want to give that away, but I want I want to have some decks to play with. So I want to build another EDH deck. I wanted to have just like two solid EDH decks, which is probably a crazy idea to a lot of you. Like most Magic players I know have like 1,000 decks because they can't decide on what they want to play, like what they like to, or not that they can't decide, but it's just that like they like to play everything, right? I'm not like that. I like to specialize. I like to have the one thing, I like to have the unique thing. So I like to get proficient in one place. You know what I mean? So that's why, I would rather always play Marchesa the Black Rose and learn how to play her better and curate the deck. That's what I like to do. And then I'm probably gonna, since that's Grixis, then I'm also working on a Karametra God of the Harvest deck. So that way I have all 5 colors, and 2 very distinct play styles, right? So all that said, I'm in the process of starting to sell cards that I don't really use. Like I have like a good example is Creekwood Liege or Deathrite Shaman. I had a foil Deathrite Shaman. I'm selling it because I don't really ever play Golgari. I've never had a Golgari deck. So so that card to me intrinsically isn't as valuable because really it's just sitting in my binder. And I'd rather, so what I'm doing is I'm going through all my $5 to $20 cards that I can part with, that I don't really need, that I don't really use, and I want to consolidate their value into one higher end card, okay? And not with the intention of, flipping. And okay, I realize I'm kind of tangenting, and I didn't really. So this is the point of this channel. So it's called Beta Finance. It's a play on alpha investments. I think Rudy's the man. And I don't know. I don't have the experience he has, but that's the niche I'm filling. I'm gonna try to fill. Is he has all the experience, the life lessons. I don't know that as much as he does, but I know enough to know he knows what he's talking about. And he gives a lot of advice about, if you want to get into this game, not Magic the game, but if you want to get into like the finance game, here's his experiences, here's his the things he's done. He analyzes the market, shows you like these turns that happen, the Black Swan events that no one can predict those kind of things. My goal with this channel is to take you through my experience in trying to get better at this game. I want to show you in real time, the my line of thinking as a beginner, in the finance aspect of collectibles and the investing aspect of collectibles, and share my ideas, my plans, and follow through on those plans and show you the results, and I'm never gonna be doing anything that I don't think I can afford. Okay, that's lesson number one. I'm never diving into something that I know I can't cover. So I'm doing this cautiously. I'm doing this, with research. I've already made a mistake that I'll go into, but that's the gist of what this channel is going to be about. The gist of this channel is I'm just going to share my experience. I'm going to share my journey into this realm and see what comes of it. And hopefully you learn something, and I'm definitely going to be learning a lot of stuff. But yeah, so as far as Magic is concerned, I am going to be I'm not going to be trying to flip anything. I'm not trying to make a quick buck. All I'm going to be doing is for the love of the game. A lot of this stuff has intrinsic value to me. I want to continue that hobby just to a more deliberate degree, to a more intentional degree. So it's like, yes, is there a profit in mind in my intentions? Absolutely. It's not like I don't want anything. It's not like I don't care if anything comes of it or not. But it's not. This won't be like I'm not going to be like day trading Magic cards. You know what I mean? I'm in this for the long haul. I plan on getting things that mechanically make sense. I'm not. I know what makes a good card. Okay, and I'm confident in my ability to determine if something is undervalued or not. Okay, and at the end of the day, it's all just your best judgment, right? It's and so yeah. So again, as far as Magic, my plan with that is just to consolidate my collection into things that that was that's not a Freudian slip, but that's that's like something. I don't know what that is. But my plan is to put my money in things that I feel have a little bit more longevity, right? So, definitely looking at the reserve list now. I'm coming up with some ideas for what I think is might be good, and yeah. But now, so that's just kind of my background as far as trading card games. I've been a big Magic player, and now I want to talk about Flesh and Blood. So I am not going to be taking a new position in Magic. Okay. Well, yeah, I suppose I will be taking a new position in Magic because I'm going to end differently than I started. but I suppose I'm not following through. I'm not looking to necessarily expand in Magic. I'm not looking to. I'm actually looking to shrink my collection, but with the value concentrated in a smaller number of cards. I am looking to expand into Flesh and Blood. This is my experiment, right? This is where I'm trying to learn a thing or two, okay? And I have a strategy in mind, and I will be following through with this strategy. Well, I've already started to follow through with this strategy. So the first thing I want to talk about with Flesh and Blood is the timeline. No. The first thing I want to talk about is the game itself. I suppose I should kind of say why I think this game will persevere, why I think this game has longevity. Personally, this is just what I see as a Magic. I think everyone should learn to play Magic because I feel like Magic teaches you how to be better at games and critical thinking. I think it's like I always refer to personally I refer to the game as Rules, the board game. It's like each card is basically adding like a rule to the game. In some instances, like particularly like enchantments or like stacks pieces, you're like it's like the only game where you are, or well, maybe not the only game, but it's one of the games, maybe one of the original games where the game is to impact the rules of the game. Like you're putting restrictions on the game. It also has these economic qualities, like you are looking at efficiency of things and card advantage and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of those concepts, whether intentional or not, just naturally occur in other games. And if you know Magic and you know the strategy behind it, it helps you like in other games. Like amongst my friends, we always joke about like having card advantage in like other games. And like when we see a card that like gives you like actually in Bang, like that cowboy card game, there's the Wells Fargo or something like that draws you 3 cards, and it's like, fuck, that's broken. Like that's basically Ancestral Recall in Bang, right? And so with Flesh and Blood, I see a lot of qualities of Magic that to me are improved, right? Like for example, being able, and you're starting to see Magic use these concepts with like the modal cards, right? So Flesh and Blood, everything's got a pitch value, okay? So that's going to eliminate dead hands, right? Like you will pretty much always be able to do something in Flesh and Blood. You're not going to be mana screwed, okay? That's a huge improvement. That's something we saw with Hearthstone, right? Hearthstone. It's a good system, It's like you want the decision of how you spend resources is a great mechanic. The inability to produce resources, not so great, or at least not so fun, right? It feels really bad being mana screwed, and so fixed. Everything has a pitch value that you can use to do things, right? So that's great. I really like the rarity structure of Flesh and Blood. I think I think it adds a dynamic that I think is missing from Magic. You know, like with the fabled rarities, with the fabled cards, it adds a mystique to the game that just isn't there in Magic. I think the product release structure that I have a hypothesis for is smart and conservative in a good way. I think I'm turned off from Magic in the sense that they're just like I haven't even bothered to really understand. It's not like it's probably difficult to understand, but I haven't really bothered trying to understand all the different product lines they have. Like, you know, they've got. I mean, it's the basic stuff, right? Was you have a booster box, you have a booster pack, you got a fat pack, right? Like that's what it used to be, and then pre-con decks. Okay, 4 things, right? Now they have booster boxes, they have booster packs, they have collector's edition booster packs, they have collector's booster boxes, they have booster boxes fat pack. They got, they got like foil secret layer jumping jacks. And it's it's just like, I don't know, it just kind of turns me off because it seems very clumsy. Like it seems very reactionary, or just like it's too much stuff for me to care about. I so far like and hope that Flesh and Blood will continue to do what I think they might do. So what I see is maybe they're going to do 2 main sets and a supplementary set every year. And because if you look at the timeline, you've got Welcome to Rathe Alpha, October 2019. You've got 4 months later, Arcane Rising First Edition. Then 6 months after that is Crucible of War First Edition. Then 3 months after that, you got the unlimited printings of the first 2 main sets, right? And I think what that was is they just started, right? They just started back in 2019. They wanted to gauge the demand. They wanted to see if it was gonna, if they wanted to get the confidence that yes, it's gonna take hold, and the demand was there, and so they decided to, let's do the unlimiteds of the first 2 sets, and now we can follow through with our maybe main business plan, which I think is going to be the 2 main sets and the supplementary set, because we have Monarch now in April, a month now that they released the product release sheet. Now we know that maybe the real plan is to do the first edition as like a pre-release thing to reward everyone for buying in early. Then a month after, do unlimited stuff for the players. For you've got the collector. You're appealing to they're having their cake and eating it too, right? They are appealing to collectors by having these first edition releases prior to the unlimited press printing, and then they are having the cost-effective option of of the unlimited printings, which like even the Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising are reasonably priced, right? Like I just bought a Welcome to Wraith for 119, and it was like 123 or something with shipping. Okay, um, so that's I feel like right now the market is a little um, uh, a little hyper. Like people are trying to get in, and I'm no exception. I was able to pre-order some Monarch First Edition, but barely, and I'm just getting 2 boxes. But in the foreseeable future, hopefully, what happens is people kind of relax, things kind of level out, right? The demand only increases, so that means we're going to get more unlimited stuff, right? And yet, the value of the first edition is retained, and that is the beauty of this whole thing. So what I hope they do is, again, 2 main sets a year, 1 supplementary set. Unlimiteds of the main sets, only first edition for the supplementary. But actually, if they do, well, no. I hope they do unlimited of the supplementary sets too, because yeah, that makes sense. Because if the whole point is to kind of add like more action and equipment options for the heroes, then you want in a healthy competitive environment, you want those things available to your players. So no. So maybe so everyone, like, if you scour the internet, everyone's like, ooh, no unlimited Crucible of War to speak of. But I just think I hope they have a plan to do that, and they just haven't really discussed it yet. But yeah, so my whole plan with Flesh and Blood is a long-term one. I am trying to, build my position with the intention of expanding. And so I am going to get these first edition Monarchs. I hope to sell one and make enough to buy a booster case of the unlimited stuff, and do that for every foreseeable set. I plan on buying a booster case of every first edition that comes out. Now that I'm on top of it, I'm gonna make sure I'm able to pre-order as soon as you're able to, and then from there I'm going to if you kind of look at the numbers, this is what I'm thinking. So right now I'm in like 280 for between 2 first edition Monarchs and a Welcome to Wraith Unlimited. Okay, so hopefully if we get the same sort of markup as we saw with Crucible of War with Monarch, I'll be able to flip one of my first edition boxes and get a booster case for Monarch of Unlimited without spending any more than my initial investment, right? So if you can do the math, at the end of it, I will have 5 boxes of Monarch, right? Then we've got Kingdom in sometime in Q3. So let's say it's either if it's July, and then they do for first edition, and then unlimited in August, or if it's first edition in August, unlimited in September, same plan there. Get a booster case of Kingdom flip a box of first edition, use the proceeds for a booster case of the unlimited product, and then sit on it, right? Just stick with it. I'm going to do that for the next couple of years, right? With a couple goals. One, try not to add out of pocket to my initial investment, okay? Two, stay in for the long haul, okay? That might be it. That might be it. Just try not to add out of pocket to my initial investment and play the waiting game. And hopefully what happens is, at minimal expense, I'm able to I'm able to expand my inventory in Flesh and Blood. I don't want to do Magic because Magic is already a giant monster that I can't tame. Flesh and Blood is something that's starting now, seems promising, and I want to take the risk in because I can afford to. That's it. That's the only reason, because I can afford to. So, well, sorry, that's not the only reason I'm doing. Well, that's one of the reasons. Some of the cards are just beautiful, right? Some of these cards are just gorgeous looking, especially in foil. Like the rainbow foil and the cold foil just look awesome. Okay, I'm a big aesthetics guy. I love the aesthetics of Flesh and Blood. Okay, the name is cool. Okay, I am doing this because I'm having fun thinking about this, and I'm having fun learning about this, and I like the game. I like the game. Okay, I'd be lying if I said that I don't hope to come out positive on this. Okay, but I'm not going in over my head. I'm not doing something that I'm not gambling with money that I can't throw away, right? I'm not, and really, I mean, this is obviously different than gambling because I think that there's going to be a longevity to this game, and I want to be here. I want to be here and try to, and I want to be here. I want to be a part of this kind of community, and I want to see this thing grow. Okay. So yeah, after those 3 years, did I mention that? I want to do this for about 3 years. This was, Rudy has a good, did I talk about Rudy? Obviously this is a play on Alpha Investments, it's Beta Finance. I don't know if I forget if I actually talked about that. I think, oh yeah, I did. Now I remember. Okay. All right, so I want to do this for 3 years. Rudy has a great video talking about what does it take to build a position in Magic, and it basically boils down to, okay, every year it takes X amount of dollars to build a position in Magic, okay? Buying booster boxes and stuff. Well, he's buying booster boxes, right? And it takes about 3 years in order to start a cycle in which you are no longer paying out of pocket. You are just earning in order to keep the cycle going. Okay? That is assuming everything you're flying through clear skies. Sometimes things get rocky, and that is the risk, right? All right, so once we hit that 3-year mark, now actually let's do the math. Okay, so let's stick with this model of we do 2 main sets, 1 supplementary set, and you are following the structure of buying a booster case of first edition, flipping a box, buying a booster case of unlimited, buying a booster case of unlimited, holding on to it, buying a booster case of first edition, flip a box, unlimited, buying a booster case of the supplementary. How many boxes do you have at the end? Story problem. Story problem. You buy first edition. You buy first edition Monarch. You flip a box and get a booster case of unlimited. How many boxes do you have? All right. I just thought of something though. Probably it's a mistake to think about being able to flip a box in order to supplement the purchase of additional product. It's probably smarter to just ante up the cash for both separately. Sorry. So, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm just going to try it anyway, just to see how it goes. But, all right. So, if you follow that process and this is like, the reason I'm trying to do it like this is because, I have enough to do that, but I don't have enough to take out like a $100,000 loan and go deep into something like this because I have a day job. This is just an experiment. This is a learning experience, a hobby thing. All right. So now, if you do that for a year, what do you end up with? You've got 3 first edition boxes. You have 3 first edition boxes of one set and 4 boxes of the unlimited of the same set, 7. All right. Same thing for the next main set, 14. Okay. Same, different for the supplementary, just 1 box of first edition. So 14, 18, right? Times 3. Okay. 54. So you end that 3 years with 54. I did this in the first time I tried to do this. I was going to say $54. You don't end up with $54. Well, you might. If things went horribly wrong, you only have $54 at the end of this. No. All right. So you end up with 54 boxes. Okay. And now you can start selling. You can start cashing out on the unlimited stuff. Because hopefully the print runs, and this is the X factor. This is the factor I don't know, about what LSS will do as far as Legendary Stories or Legend Story Studios is going to do as far as unlimited print runs. I don't know how long they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to just because also you have to think about how does competitive cycle in and out, and it's hero based. It's based on competitive success of a hero, right? So the hero and the hero cards pertaining to that hero get cycled out, but generic stuff sticks around. Well, okay, in that case, so then they probably wouldn't keep printing unlimited stuff if you cycle out a hero from that set. But I don't know. I don't know ultimately what the plan is, and that is important to figure out. But who knows that knowledge? I don't. But anyway, so it's like now you can maybe start turning over the unlimited product up, and it should take about 3 boxes of the unlimited product in order to buy a booster case of the new first edition stuff. And this is after 3 years. So you've got 54 boxes, okay? After 3 years, you've hopefully not increased your initial investment that much, added to it out of pocket. And now your plan is to use your older unlimited product to supplement the purchase of the new stuff, okay, and do another cycle, right? And so after that whole thing, so if it takes about 3 unlimited to buy a booster case of new first edition, okay, so you've got 6 sets, 3 supplementary, right? You've got 6 sets worth of unlimited. So 4 times 6 is 24. So 4 times 3 is 12. So wait. Sorry, that's wrong. So 3 times 6 is 18. So you're left with 6 unlimited boxes, right? You also have a diversified position in across multiple sets, because some sets are going to be more popular than others. So, that's going to kind of determine what you keep and give up. All right. So now you are cashing out about 18 of your unlimited boxes. Okay. And that hopefully gives you enough capital to begin this new 3-year cycle. Meanwhile, you have 6 sets worth of first edition, right? So you've got 3 boxes of each of 6 sets. So you've got 18 first edition boxes, and you're left with 6 unlimited boxes, right? So you've got 24 of the old cycle, of the first cycle product, okay? And now you're doing another 3 years of new product, right? So 6 years in, okay, you are possibly even, okay, so say you're 3 years, you do 3 years, now you're on year 4, and you are using unlimited product to start to buy into your next 3 years, right? So now you could either do another 54 boxes. So at the end, you're in for 78 boxes, right? 54 plus 24, you've got 78, right? Or, depending on how the unlimited stuff goes, okay, well, there you go. Depending on how the unlimited stuff goes, that will signal to you, do we take another step deeper, right? So do instead of one booster case of each of these things, can you expand, right? Can you expand? Right? And so if you think about it, I'm 29, I'm going on 30, right? I've got about 34 years before I am thinking about any kind of retirement. Okay. That's 30 years to build a position and hopefully do something, and that's very long term, right? That's not just like, this is a long term thing. So you know, if you so that's kind of why, it takes 3 years to like do this first move, and then you're 33 or whatever. You might want to think about expand. Well, you know what? At this point now, I'm starting to go way too into the future too much. So this is my initial plan. We'll even see how much of this I'm able to do within these next 3 years. And that's the point of this channel, is to keep you updated. So I hope you learned a little about me. I hope you learned a little of something. I don't know what. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me if I'm a big dummy who's about to lose the farm. I don't know. I mean, like, again, like, this is like, I'm definitely not like advising anyone to do this. I'm just kind of expressing my opinions on things based on what I'm seeing, based on what I know in Magic. So we'll see how this pizza cooks. And hopefully we got some tasty pepperonis afterwards. But thanks for watching this, and I hope to see you again.